Hello and welcome to our 5 minutes with Ekaterina tips and tricks for learning a language. We have already discussed the questions of self-studying and the questions of teaching via internet, but we haven't talked when are you approaching this moment when you do need to hire a teacher as an adult, and actually if you need a teacher when you're adult to learn a language. Nowadays we have so many possibilities to learn. We have internet, we have YouTube videos. There are so many teachers giving you all the grammar information for free, giving you advices for free, giving you so many useful resources. There are so many apps you can use, and there is kind of unlimited possibilities to learn any language. That puts the question of why do we need a teacher, and as a teacher I'm always thinking about it. First of all, you need a teacher when you feel that you have the lack of motivation. The first and the main goal of any teacher who teaches adults is the motivation. Your teacher sometimes doesn't know some information. That's why your teacher is not a source of information anymore, but it's a great source of motivation. It's when you don't want to do it, but you have a scheduled class and you need to be there and you need to keep going when your teacher is there and you feel, oh, I don't want to do it. And he or she is there and saying, yes, we are going to have a class now. That's a motivating thing, that is a supporting thing, and that's something which helps you a lot in your studies. So my number one when you need to hire a teacher is when you have the lack of motivation. The second moment when you need a teacher is when you cannot force yourself into the routine, and when you are not really concentrated, when you know that you do have some time, but you will come home after work and you will rather prefer to watch something on YouTube or to read something instead of learning, then you need to book structured, scheduled classes with a teacher. This is very connected to your lack of motivation. It is the lack of structure, it is the lack of these scheduled classes. The third reason is if you're a complete beginner, you might have some problems with difficult sounds in the language and you need to put in the correct place your pronunciation. In this case, it will be faster with the teacher. The teacher is not the only way. There are plenty of apps which you can use talking to the app, and the app will say you wrong all the time, which will be very annoying. This would never happen with the teacher because the teacher will show you the ways to pronounce the words. The teacher will ignore some mistakes which you will make during your learning process. Again, I'll probably record a separate video about the teachers ignoring some of your mistakes, and I'll explain you why we are doing it. But the teacher knows which mistakes interrupt your communication and which are not. So with the teacher, it will be faster to work on the sounds you really mispronounce that are staying between you and the communication. And it will help, it will develop a little bit faster your speaking skills. When you want to develop your speaking skills, especially if you're a beginner and none of the native speakers would want to be your language partners, finding a teacher for developing your speaking skills, for putting your pronunciation, making your enunciation better, making all the sounds sounding more natural to native speakers, that's a good idea. But again, please notice that I'm putting it only on the third place because you do really can get it without a teacher. You can go online, you can practice by yourself, you can record yourself, listen to yourself. So it's not the necessary here, but it helps and it fastens your language process, your language learning a lot. The next reason of taking the formal or the classes with the teacher, the reason number 4, is when you're going to pass the formal test. If you're going to do it, it's better to find a qualified teacher because now on the test it's not about your knowledge anymore, it's not about your communication anymore, it's maybe 25% is about knowing what the test requires from you, what are the test demands, showing you some tricks on how to avoid very common mistakes, and practicing just for completing this task. You can prepare by yourself, and as for me, I always prepare for my tests by myself. I never hire anyone to do it with me, but from my practice, I'm still watching the videos on YouTube where professional teachers, where people who are actually working as examinators on these tests would explain these tricks, and I'm spending quite a lot of time of listening and reading about these test demands. If you don't want to do it yourself, if you don't want to look for these small tricks, for these small, not related to your knowledge, language knowledge, situations like secrets, just hire someone who will share and who will practice with you doing right exactly these things. On the last place, I would put the personal connection, I would put the teacher's experience, because with the teacher you will experience, more likely you will experience something which other students are also experiencing working on this during this language learning, and the teacher will know your problems, the teacher will know your psychological state, the teacher will know mistakes you will make. Probably 80% of time I do know what mistakes on which level different people will make, and that's usually true. So the experience of a teacher in communicating with people, in solving the issues you're having, it will definitely help you in your language learning. So if you feel that you have some kind of problems there, that's a good idea to find a teacher and just to work together, to have this support, to have this information, and maybe to have more structure, to add more structure to your learning. Let me know if you have more reasons why you should have a teacher, or more advice when we need to hire someone to help us in our learning journey. Tell me if you think that you can learn all by yourself and if it's fun for you. I'm always excited to read your comments. Also, don't forget about your likes below this video. That's how I'm more motivated. And if you can and want to help, you can always support me on Patreon. The link is below the video. Also, subscribe for the channel, hit the bell button, stay tuned. I'm happy to share with you my knowledge. It's also here, it's also for free, and you can just learn by yourself if you have this possibility. It's a great result. It's when you can communicate through the screen with a teacher. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it was useful, and I hope to see you very soon in our future episodes. Goodbye for now.